What's up? What's up? What is up? Should I say welcome to Dr. Ali Griffith Show? As you guys are popping in, say hi because your hi matters. Today I'm going to speak a little bit about April still being Autism Awareness Month. I always like to say autism acceptance because we are more than aware. Um, and I literally just finished a podcast interview with one of my clients who does a podcast on empathy with autism. And most of you guys know that Zachary will be launching his book. We pretty much feel like it's going to be launched for his birthday, which is May 19th. So we're in pre-launch mode where it is available for pre-orders for those who want to have their book ready or in their hands for the launch day. Um, what I wanted to talk about today, and as you guys are popping in, let me know where you're coming from so I can give you guys shout outs. I definitely will come back in and definitely pass this along because this is a message that I definitely have been sharing repeatedly throughout this month. Most of you will know me as a business strategist. I help moms to start, build, and launch their own brands, their personal brands. I particularly work with special needs moms, moms with autism, children with autism, and just moms who just need a little bit slower pace and detailed breakdown into how to start their brand and grow it with systems and strategies. So even though I may serve in that aspect, you all also know that I'm an autism mom, right? I am Zachary's mom for the last 14 years. For the last 7 to 8 years, I have really taken a big stance on talking about autism, showing autism, including autism in everything that I did until the slight pivot within the last three years where I moved more into supporting with business strategies and just helping moms to grow their brand because that's what they said they needed. So even through that space, I'm still being called or still being asked to speak about autism and how it shows up in my life and why I think it's important for the world to keep hearing us show up. Part of what I do is I like to tell the world that autism is something amazing. Right? What you don't understand sometimes is something that you just need to learn a little bit more about. Our children with autism are often in their own world, having their own little fun, having their own little life experiences. And when you actually look at them, I began to learn so much about Zachary that I actually use towards growing my business. I actually use the words making me a better person. And I actually use with helping others right out there by just learning simple strategies that he shows. Hey, Janice from Fairfield, thank you for saying hi. Everybody else is just peeking and looking like if I bite, I don't bite. I promise. I'm way too far to bite. Also, let me know if you can hear me well, right? Because I do have on headphones today, like I said, because I just finished a podcast interview. What do you want the world, for any of you that pop in? I know a lot of my amazing moms pop in because we have a whole tribe of us that we kind of empower each other as we're building our brands and writing books and doing all these amazing things. We're also supporting each other through the process of doing it whilst parenting autism. So as you guys are popping in, use this opportunity to share what do you want the world to know about your life, about autism, about parenting autism. Um, and my phone is going off and off, not right now. What I want the world to know is that it's important to embrace differences. It's important to accept uniqueness. It's important to understand their world as opposed to criticizing their world or thinking negatively when you do see moments of breakdowns. Understand that most often it's a child that cannot communicate what's going on. So usually when there's a breakdown in communication, they will show it with their bodies, or it may be shown in other ways. All right, Crystal, on the treadmill doing your thing. So it's important that I remembered when my coach, Julie Carter at the time, told me that it was important for me to show Zachary. And like any other mama, I didn't want the world to criticize my child because obviously Zachary is 14. At that time, he was probably 7, and he was 7, but his cognitive ability was probably around 4 or 5. So even though you may see a taller person or a bigger person, if you speak to them or if you have in-depth conversation, you would still see that they are still at a different age capacity of what they're able to communicate. Autism has taught me unconditional love. That part right there. So when she told me that I had to show him to the world so that they can begin to understand what it was and understand how it was that I had such a positive aspect on it, and I said, no, I wanted to protect my baby. I did not want the world to think of him any less than what he truly was, amazing. So I began to slowly but surely, you guys began to see Zachary, right? Zachary began to be shown. Zachary began to be shown with pictures, with videos, talking, sharing his thoughts. Whatever was going on, most of you have seen Zachary for half of his life. And as a result of that, hey, Bonita, hey, Mary, La Bonita. As a result of that, many other moms began to see that and they began to spread their wings. They began to feel empowered. They began to say, hey, me too. And not only moms, but other family members, like friends or brothers or sisters or family members would come and say, hey, I also have a family member with autism. Now realizing that autism is not 6 degrees of separation, but more like one, almost immediately. We are all affected and impacted by autism. If not, we're working with it, we're engaging with it, and or we may have someone really close in our life that is doing the same. So as we step out of this month of April and understand that autism awareness and acceptance goes past April, it's part of our everyday. Understand that we can still do certain things to keep the world knowing, right? Keep the world understanding and keep the world growing into what autism is. I'm super excited for Zachary's coloring book because it's his chance to show a little bit about his world. For all of you that knows, he's a Thomas the Tank Engine lover, enthusiast, if we want to try that, right? Dawn says, autism has taught me empathy and patience. Let me do some of this so you guys could see some of the words of what some folks are saying. Um, and through the process, with us doing his coloring book, it really helped me to understand how it depended on his pace, right? So this goes into time. Most of my folks that I coach, my autism moms, my moms, my business moms, understand how I always speak about the importance of time, of honoring your time, of treasuring your time, of not always feeling like you have to rush time just to make things happen. Sometimes we get into such an array of wanting things to happen within a certain amount of time, self included. I think I'm the biggest one. What I began to learn through the process of creating his book was that it wasn't my book, first of all. Second of all, it was his process. So I had to have patience with him through the process. We were ready. We wanted to release it for April 1st for autism. Well, I wanted to release it for April 1st for Autism Awareness Month. However, he didn't like the cover. So we had to send the cover back and get it to his approval since it's his product. That taught me that it's not on my time. It's based on the combination of what we both can do together and having the patience through that process and understanding that they are entitled their own opinions and whether their opinion is going to take longer, whether they're going to take longer to understand things, whether they're even going to take longer to communicate things. It's up to us to be more compassionate and more patient through the process. So as many of us are out here, as many of us are seeing it more in our lives, remember patience is important. Remember, it's important to listen. Listening is super important, especially when it comes to communication for them and them having difficulties to exactly express everything out their thoughts if they're verbal or not having words and have to use their body, their fingers, their eyes, their nose, whatever they can use to communicate their information. So we, as responsible human beings, need to be more patient. We need to be more open to listening. Yes. And I don't know if somebody needs to hear this, but that's why I said you guys might need to pass this along because this is my public message for those who need to hear how it is that we are needed in the world to keep talking about it, to keep sharing about it, to keep embracing it, to keep highlighting their uniqueness, highlighting their amazingness, so that when our little ones who are now growing up and when they see someone that's different or they're seeing different ways of responding, they can choose a different type of way of responding. They can be more understanding. They can have more patience. They can offer more of their time so that they can begin to understand more. Us as adults, we get to model that. We get to show that. We get to embrace that. And I know at times a lot of my moms, I know we have our powwows, like we're heading out to Florida next month for our Amazing Moms Wellness Retreat. And a lot of the conversation is around sometimes the world doesn't want to stop and listen. They want to judge, they want to say what they want to say, and often it's not very pleasant towards what we are hearing. So we open our mouth and we share it and we tell you what we need. I tell people what I need. I was grateful for the fact of when I got over the hump, because trust me, I was in that space also where I got angry a lot, where I was sad a lot, where I was depressed a lot. And at times it still pops back in. So let me not make it seem like if I'm all the way on the other side. But through that process, I began to learn to ask for what I need, to be able to say, I need a break, to be able to say, can someone come and get him for the night? Can we figure out a way how to do this together? Oh, I'm getting out the country. Oh, that was my favorite. I'm getting out the country for a little bit. I need to tap out. I need help. So learning that aspect of what it was that I needed, and it's different for every autism mom that it encompasses it, because my world was so filled with so many things. I had to learn how to balance, is that word that people love to hear, but I had to learn how to make things flow where I'm not changing who I am and getting very frustrated because I had so much on my plate and it was affecting him and how he was responding. So there's a lot out there that we want to share this month. Take some time out to reach out to someone who may have a child with autism and ask them what is it that they need. How can you best support them? How you can best support us. Zachary's book is on pre-sale, so definitely go get that. I think if you go to iamcolorbook.com, it's in pre-sale over there. We're finishing up his landing page, which of course we had to do with the new cover, with his new page, waiting for that to come in. So once that came in, we were able to now work on that. So pre-sales are still there. I need your support to get yours, pass it along, talk to people about it. In the affirmations book, I didn't highlight autism because Zachary didn't want it that way. He does know he's diagnosed with autism, but he doesn't want autism to rule his world. So we added the little pin on his front on his shirt with the autism heart, which he sees me wearing a lot of times. And in his bio, it speaks a little bit about that. However, the affirmations are affirmations that every child can use. The reason why we did affirmations for him was because he went through a period in his life when he began to see worse of himself because of what he thought people perceived of him. So as a result of that, I began to see his energy, his light starting to dim, because he would say, people don't like me, or people think I'm different, or people are moving away from me instead of towards me. He began to see that. So we began to use affirmations to remind him how important he was, how reliable he was, how responsible he was, how amazing he was. And he had to begin to say it to himself, not only hear me, but say it and have it around the house, and make sure it began to fill his world, so he can really truly see himself as the gem, precious gem that he truly is. So I know there are other kids out there that need that. I know there are other kids that need those little words to keep them going. And sometimes we don't know what they're going through because they may not say it, but especially right now after the pan, and we're heading back into schools, and a lot of our children are dealing with emotions that they haven't been able to fully talk about. Something like this can be helpful for some of them. So that's my big ask. But as we're moving through this month, know that this Saturday and Sunday, Smart Fit Fam, which is my nonprofit organization, we're going to be doing some. I think we're doing a sip and chat on Saturday, and on Sunday we're going to be doing some movement and activities like Zumba, or it's either Zumba or belly dancing. It's one of those or both of those that we're going to be doing on Sunday, so that we can have some fun with our amazing moms and our amazing friends. So feel free to join us, and you'll find more information about that on smartfitfam.org. So, as you're passing through, even if you're catching this on replay, please definitely share, what do you think the world needs to know about autism? And let it be known. Feel free to pass this along. Feel free to share it, so that others can start to read it or see it, and they can slowly but surely begin to inject some of what they learn about it, and then they will be able to share it. I mean, if we can share everything else that's negative, why can't we share something that's positive, right? And actually can help people to change how they respond to people that are different. So that's our Smart Fit Fan page. I want to make sure that I put that there. And let me make sure I put Zachary's coloring book if anyone is interested in that. Also, you guys can have access to that. I am be amazing. Continue to be fabulous. Continue to know that you were preciously created for the amazing being that you are. We are all unique in fantastic ways. And if we embrace our own uniqueness, then we'll be able to embrace others and their uniqueness. So start within ourselves, start identifying that our uniqueness is truly what makes us special, and we're all special. And then when you begin to see that within ourselves, you begin to see that with individuals with autism. That's my little notice for you guys today. It's Monday. Go out there and be amazing. And yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all next time. Be blessed. Continue to be amazing in your thoughts, your words, and in your actions. Until next time, y'all. Peace.